Hey guys, Thomas from Team Sakurasou here, coming at you guys with the long-awaited deck profile, NEKROZ Libromancer Adventure. And this deck surely is an adventure. You know, it has so much creative plays as well as linear combos and strategies that it's just great. Every hand is different. So before I get into this, I want to say that at the end of this video, I will show you guys what the best board looks like, as well as some test hands and combos that you can do. If you guys enjoy these kinds of videos, make sure to smash that like button. I used to do a lot more deck profiles back in the day, and I really want to bring them back because I just love making decks and trying them out, especially when it comes to meta-relevant decks. I have beat tier Ishizu with this deck quite a bit, but you do have to open up well. Also, if you guys are not subscribed, hopefully today's the day I earn your subscription. If you're buying any cards off TCG Player, please use my affiliate link down in the description below. Helps out the channel to no additional cost to you. And let me know what you guys think about the deck in the comment section below, and we're going to get right into it. So first we have 2 Geek Boy and then 3 Libromancer Fire. You're able to special summon these guys by revealing 1 ritual, which isn't really a cost. When Geek Boy special, you add a spell, you're going to be adding the field spell. And when Fire is activated, and you can add the ritual monster or any other monster. Now we play 5 copies of this guy in reality, and the reason why we play 5 copies is actually because we have emergency teleport, and this is a psychic, so that's what's really nice. That's why I cut him to 2. You can maybe cut this guy down to 2 as well, but honestly, I kind of like playing these ratios. You always want to have 1 Libromancer's card, a NEKROZ card, and an adventure card in your hand for the best optimal plays. Speaking of adventure, we're going to play 2 Water Enchantress and the Sphinx right over here. This is all you really need. You don't really need more than 3 Water Girl. It's better to have 3 right or 2 right and then just 2 girl. Then we play the incantations right over here. This helps you get to your ritual cards a little bit faster, as well as bait out hand traps as well that your opponent may have. As well as it sets up for our Vanity's Ruler. This is not the only way to set up a Vanity's Ruler. You have multiple ways to do that. But these help depending on if you get interrupted or not, and how your board overall looks. And your opponent not being able to special summon monsters, there are times where I've just put this on the board with no Omni negates and I won the duel. So, you know, it's a really hard floodgate for your opponent to have, and we have a way to search it actually. And the way we search it is actually our Ben 10 over here. Whenever this card is tributed, you get to search a fairy, and that searches our Vanity's Ruler. That's why we only play 1 copy, because we can add this or draw into it and then just tribute it and get our Vanity's Ruler. So there's no reason to bump up your Vanity's Ruler. In fact, it's not even that great to see in hand sometimes actually, depending on how things are. And it is a level 6. And the reason why that's important is for 2 reasons. Now, one is Libromancer Doom Broker. Now, this is a level 6, and you're able to ritual summon him by tributing Ben 10 to special summon this guy on board, and then you're able to get the search effect as well as Doom Broker's effect. This card searches a trap that is an Omni negate, and when you actually act it on resolution, because you have to bounce this as to activate it, and on resolutions after you negate your whatever opponent card you activated in response, you are able to special summon a Libromancer from your hand or graveyard actually. So you get a search most likely, and then you still have this guy in hand because it bounces, and you're able to put him back on board. He's also able to attack directly and shuffle back a monster, which is really great. I only play 1 though. He's amazing, but you only need 1. And then you have 3 Unicorn to not only say our second best way to tribute Ben 10 and get an effect, but to actually go second, because while this card searches a NEKROZ monster, that's really all it needed to say. You can shuffle back 2 monsters special summon from the extra deck, and going second, you can break your opponent's board with that, because I mean it's a shuffle back 2, so it gets past other things as well. It does target sadly, but you know, it could be worse. Then we play 2 Unicorn. When this is on the field, it just negates all extra deck monsters that your opponent controls, which is really, really good. You're also able to get a NEKROZ from the grave, which is really nice. I tried playing 3, but only 2 is really needed, from what I've seen. Then you have 2 Colossus here. This is sort of like Unicorn, but when you discard it, it searches a Necroz ritual spell. So you don't really have to load up too much on those. But if you make this either with Kaleidoscope and other combos, you're able to negate an opponent's extra deck monster effect and turn it to 0. So it's not a bad card overall, but you only really need 2. And then you play 1 Trishula. Now, sometimes you're able to search this just to protect your Unicorn from card effects, but you're able to banish a card from hand, grave, and field, as long as your opponent has a card in hand, grave, and field, which is really, really good. Obviously, when we get Kashtira out, that's not going to be that great, but your opponent losing a card on the field and hand and being able to like basically NEKROZ something, as well as protect if it is in your hand, it's good, but you really want to search it. If you draw in your opening hand, this guy does not start anything, so that's why you only play 1. And then you have 1 Child Slime, so instead of playing multiple incantations, like I've seen people play 3/3 and like 1 Pencil Plume or 2/2 and a Pencil Plume in a book, that's all complicated. It gives you a bunch of cards that are dead if you draw them. You get Child Slime, and you're able to search Child Slime either off Preparation of Rituals, Prosperity. There's a lot of ways to get him into your hand. You basically have an incantation on board. Then, for spells, 3 Emergency Teleport. It is just, you know, free Libromancer. Now, if you draw a Libromancer and a Emergency Teleport, well, it's not that bad because either, again, it baits an Interrupt, and this can play through negates. Not too many, mind you. If they negate you twice, your third one does probably have to go through. But again, it all depends on your hand. But you're able to set up some cool boards, maybe go into the extra deck, stuff like that. Helps you kind of, if you have a Libromancer and Emergency Teleport, depending on what Necroz you have in hand, you're able to make an Abyss Dweller, which is really nice. Then you have 2 of the field spell. It's activated, you add a Libromancer monster, but then this allows you to ritual summon. So this is actually the way that we ritual summon into Doombroker. We don't need any ritual spells or additional effects or any of that. If you draw this, it's not that great because when you activate this, you can add, say, Geek Boy, right? If you add Geek Boy and reveal and special, well, you add another one of these, but that's it. You add a fire, which is the better move, and you special summon the fire. Well, the fire is going to add either the ritual, and you have to ritual summon right away, or you have to add Geek Boy, special Geek Boy, but then you don't get your ritual. It's better to open up or put on board one of the Libromancer, Geek Boy, or Fire Boys instead of drawing this. So we don't want to see this. We want to search it, but we need to play 2 copies just in case something happens to it. 3 preps. I mean, this is not explainable. It's a ritual deck. Then you have 2 rights. I do plan on bumping this up to 3, especially because with Ishizu Tier, if this gets milled, you can add it with Water Enchantress and have more in your deck, as well as you do want to see your adventure stuff more. I recommend playing 3 and maybe cutting 1 fire if you want to, or something else in this build. 3 Power Prosperities. So we do use our extra deck, but it's better that we banish, and it doesn't even matter what we banish. We have like a bunch of stuff that we can kind of play around with. With Power Prosperity, there's only like really one thing that we want to keep in, 1 or 2 things. Power Prosperity just says, hey, you want to dig through whatever engine you didn't draw. So you banish 6. Let's say that you got the Adventure engine in your starting and you're going first in your 5 hands. You have your Necroz cards against your Necroz cards, but you do not have a Libromancer. Well, you Power Prosperity for 6 and you dig for the Libromancer, and that's what you do. Better to activate this later, however, just to make sure that you're able to pop off. It's basically letting you be, hey, what's that one cute little piece you need for your combo? And that's it. You have the Draco back and the Adventure, just standard, it's Adventure. 2 Cycle and then 2 Kaleidoscope. Now, why do I not play Mirror? I don't play Mirror because this is going first deck, and I usually win because my opponent scoops, or in turn 3 I can just attack and it's very simple and easy. Mirror does not come up, as well as there are ways to summon whatever I really want without Mirror, and while playtesting this deck, while I would play Necroz Mirror in a deck that has more Necroz or has Necroz and just Libromancers maybe, not this deck. So I cut it and it was fine. It's fine. If you want to play Mirror, you can. 2 little Kaleidoscope. This lets you get your Unicorn out and dumping Herald for a search, which is really nice. You can also do some other kinky stuff, like you could do, I believe, 9 and 3. You could do 8 and 4 if you want to play Necroz Valkyrie, I believe it's called. You know, you could do a lot of things with Cycle. You could do 3 and 4 as well. Cycle just lets you tribute Ben 10 as well to get search, and then you can special summon a Brio from your grave, which is really nice. It helps. It's another way to get Vanity's Ruler off the board, and sometimes you'll have to do this, as well as your graveyard's live with like a bunch of levels, all that. So Necroz Cycle is just going to get you whatever Necroz that you really want at the end of the day. Then we play 3 Super Poly, as well as the trap that I explained, but I will read what Intervention does. You make the ritual, and your ritual effect is you can just set a trap, a Libromancer trap, from the deck to the field. And when your opponent activates a card or effect, you target a Libromancer ritual monster, return to hand if you do negate the effect, then special my Libromancer monster from hand or grave, and you can only activate once per turn. But we only play 1 because, again, you're searching your 1 copy, you're not wanting to draw it, so do not play 2. Super Poly is just a way for the main deck to not only go second, but it is also an interruption, because if they get over Vanity's Ruler, they do not expect you to have Super Poly, because you cannot Super Poly. You're not going to Super Poly while you have Vanity's Ruler. That's just ridiculous, right? So, as well as, again, it is a board breaker, and if you can't have Vanity's Ruler, or you can't have as many interrupts as you want to, this is just so quick, you set it, you activate on your opponent's turn, you make something. I mean, I just want to put another generic card in here, as well as it helps get over boards if you have to go second, so sometimes you have to dig through this. But, you know, you do want to go first optimally. Now for the extra deck, 2 Heralds. Very simple. You send this and you're able to search whatever you want. It's a must-have. Why I don't play 3, I've never needed a 3rd. Wind Pegasus and Omega. Omega, you shuffle something like, say, DPE or whatever from the grave. Ignister, when your card is destroyed, you could banish this card. And then you target a monster, a card your opponent controls, shuffle it into the deck. So help shuffle something into the deck, which is really nice. You have the Ultimuses right here. This is just for the Trishula and the 3, or just Kaleidoscope shenanigans. You could cut one if you really want to. Elder Entity Nest. Basically, imagine this is Herald but going second. I'm able to Kaleidoscope, send this, and then I get a pop, or I can do some other shenanigan to send it, but usually 99% of the time it's going to be Kaleidoscope. Super Poly targets are Garua, Blood Dragon. I would play Dragon Stapilio. I just didn't have one lying around. I was borrowing one. That was a higher rarity, and I ended up giving it back for the deck profile. So if you want to cut a card, say 1 ultimate, and that's what I was actually doing, to make another Super Poly target, you can do that as well, and I would recommend it. 1 Abyss Dweller. You also make this with Unicorn, so they can't beat over it, which is great. We have the Nightmare package. I mean, you actually put monsters on board like crazy, and if you have to go do the Libromancer engine again, a combo again, there's not a real big reason you need to, because you could keep summoning level 6 essentially. So you could just link it to a Phoenix, you could link it to a Cerberus, you could link it to a Unicorn, you could do kind of like whatever you want. It just gets you advantage for discard slaughter, stuff like that. And then the last card we have here is a card that I might need to explain, but this card is called Nephthys, the Sacred Flame. Now what this card essentially does is you have to use at least 1 ritual monster to link into it. Now, if you can use 3, basically neither player can target this card with card effects, and it gains 2,400 attack. So it's a 4,800 attack monster that neither player can target the card with card effects, and it cannot be destroyed by battle as well, or card effects. So it's really hard for your opponent. Basically, they have to Gamma Seal this, or Kaiju this, or some other way. Very hard to get rid of this. So this is kind of a weird win con that I put in the deck, and it has come up before, but hardly. But when it does, I win the game automatically. With that, we are going to get into the combos. So this is how the end board actually looks, and I don't have this as a field center, I have this as the token. So what you have is your opponent cannot special summon. You also have 2 Omni Negates with Sphinx and Libromancer Interruption. The best part about Interruption is that if your opponent, Dark Rulers or something like that, you can respond with this card. So always remember to use Sphinx first for your Omni Negate, not the trap. Especially because you can recycle the Sphinx, you cannot recycle the trap. So once that's gone, that's gone for the round. That's gone for the round. 2 Omni Negates, your opponent cannot special summon because of the Vanity's Ruler. The Unicorn Negate all your opponent's extra deck monsters. If they get past Ruler. You mostly make this for the search as well. And then on your turn, you have the token with the bounce, as well as the field spell that you guys can't see right off camera, but there is a field spell activated. And this is what the board kind of looks like. It's kind of hard to play through because of not only the 2 Omni Negates, but the 2 Floodgates. And that's kind of where the strength goes, because it's a little hard to out this board, because the best way to out this board from what I've seen is a good player will understand that they should droplets during damage step and just get over the Vanity's Ruler. So usually when I make this board, I want to say I either get a scoop or I win turn 3, assuming I went first and put up this board. About 85-90% of the time, depending on what pieces of the engine are missing. Like let's say you don't have the adventure engine here, right? Which is unfortunate. Let's say you just didn't get into that piece. Well, your board is going to look something like this then, where you're going to have the no special summon, the 1 Omni Negate, and then the other Floodgate of no extra. And then vice versa, you could also have a Super Volley set as well for another interruption. It just depends on what you kind of draw as well. So I'm going to give you guys a few test hands in just a second here, so you guys can kind of see what you can actually do. So, one of the most crucial yet basic combos of the deck is having a Libromancer monster or a way to get to a Libromancer monster, as well as Ben 10 or a way to get into Ben 10. If you don't draw Libromancer monster, you have Emergency Teleport as well as Pop Prosperity. For Ben 10, you can Kaleidoscope and send Herald to the grave to make your NEKROZ Unicorn. And then search out Ben 10, you could use Preparations of Rites, so it's like you're running 6 copies, Candles, and obviously Pop Prosperity. There's a few other ways to search these cards. But what you're supposed to do is you're going to reveal Ben 10 to special summon Libromancer Fire, preferably in defense position. You know, they might have a Lightning Storm, probably not, but just in case. And then you're going to activate his effect to add Geek Boy. You're going to reveal Ben 10 again, because why would you reveal another Ritual Monster and give your opponent free information? To special summon Geek Boy. Geek Boy is going to add you a Libromancer spell, which is going to be the field spell over here. Now you're going to activate the field spell, and the field spell, what this card does is you're able to search a Libromancer monster. You're going to get a Doom Broker to your hand. Now you are not, and this card not only lets you ritual summon as for free as a field spell, but it is 6 or more. So you don't, it's not NEKROZ where it has to be exact. You don't have to be too hard with the levels, but you're not going to use these to ritual summon. What you're going to do is you're going to use the Ben 10 to tribute the Ben 10 to the grave to special summon your Doom Broker. Ben 10 effect, you search Vanity's Ruler, because you can search a fairy. Now remember, there's no real normal summons in this deck that you definitely need to do, if at all. So this is basically the only time you should be normal summoning. Now you're going to tribute both of them, and you're going to put Vanity's Ruler on the board. Now this is, so you have your Floodgate, but then you're going to activate Doom Broker's effect. During the main phase, you can set a trap directly from the deck. So this cannot be Ash, it is not a search, it sets it right automatically, which is really, really nice here. And what this card does is you bounce the Doom Broker to negate a card or an effect, right? So it's basically an Omni Negate, but when you bounce a card, like basically after you bounce Doom Broker, you can special summon a Libromancer monster from your hand or graveyard. Now, if you have it in your hand, just hold on to it. Just special it from grave no matter what. So on your opponent's turn, let's say this is the board you end on. You don't have any more. You did not draw your adventure engine. You got this without using the NEKROZ engine, and you didn't put any like NEKROZ card on the board, like Unicorn or anything else, or like a Dweller. And this is all you have. Let's say your opponent's like, okay, so how do I out this? Well, I have evenly matched. Well, you can negate evenly matched. You bounce the Doom Broker to your hand. And let's say that you have no cards in hand, just as an example. You're going to have cards in hand. This is all you open up. But you negate it, and then you're able to special summon, let's say, Fire from your graveyard, and you're going to be able to add your Geek Boy, which next turn you're going to be able to reveal Doom Broker to special summon Geek Boy. Geek Boy is going to add your second copy of your spell. Now, you're not going to activate it to search or anything, but if you need to tribute for Doom Broker, well, it's right here. You could do that. You could tribute another Ben 10. I don't know if you draw into another Ben 10. You can link these off into a Cerberus or a or link up to a Unicorn if you could put say another one on board, because you can activate this just to add and then just special summon something else and then make a Unicorn. So you can do kind of whatever you need with that. Obviously, you guys see how the deck sort of works. If you have the Adventure Engine, then you can just do the basic Adventure Engine combo. So you'll have 2 Omni Negates, and the special, and then you can have the unicorn. And that's kind of how the deck works. So make sure to smash that like button and subscribe. Let me know what you guys think about this deck in the comment section below. Do you have any criticism or questions about the deck? I have not been playing it for a long time, but the experience I've had so far has been great with it. It's really fun. I know Libromancer and NEKROZ have been played a little bit, but I just don't think people were doing the builds justice, as well as there was just more you could put in, more gas you could have done. And I think this is the best NEKROZ build, in my opinion. So leave a like if you guys enjoyed, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.